In this video, we're going to focus on creating a nice design, but not very suitable. For example, we want to have a card. So in Bootstrap, you could just give it a card class, but here we're not able to give it a card class. We need to work really from scratch with all the elements together. So we can say here div class, and then let's look at it, what we need. Well, basically, if we're going to create a card, we have to know a few things. We need to know the border. We need to know have a fixed width, height, basically. So let's start with the border itself. So we can there's even a flex box here if ever we want. I think that would be even a nice one. We can say here flex, let's select that, flex 1, and flex auto, flex none. So you can see here this is a bit here more. When we have that initial won't grow but will shrink if needed. Alright, so we can see here another one, flex 1, 2 and 3. Will grow and shrink as needed without taking initial size in account. Alright, this might be an option here. Let's try and use this one. So we're going to give it here. I'm going to create a new class. This will be flex 1. And then we say here border. And we can say here maybe rounded, if I'm not mistaken, for the rounded border. And let's see what happens here. Say here card. I save this here and refresh. Alright. I'm probably certain that this should be together because we need to have multiple. Alright, you can see here we need to do this. Makes sense. This is also in CSS. Same, so we say div class flex. Then we have these items here. Then we could have, for example, 3 different cards here. And let's make it 2. That will be fine. So we have 2 cards here. Then you can see here what we need to do here is probably padding and margin. So I'll give it here padding 3 and then margin 3 and continue on here and save that. There we are. And now we can put in even some elements or put in some items or create a height depending on. So what we could do, for example, here, let's say flex auto. What will flex auto do? Will shrink and grow and things. Alright, this item cannot shrink. Alright, so flex none. So that will mean that this item can grow or shrink if needed, but this item cannot grow or shrink. Well, okay, that's not what we want. So you can see here all of these options. We could even assign if ever we have something, then we adjust that one. Fair enough. I think for now that's fine. What we could do here maybe is to insert a picture or something. I have no idea. Let's look at here. What are the options here? Like here or image. A flex wrap, or maybe a button. I guess a button can be very nice, and we can say here a button. We can say here learn more. I'm going to copy this button. Oh, before I copy it, I can just give it a proper class. What I want to do with this one is I want to give it a rounded as well. If I save this here and go back here, we have a button here. That for some, this should maybe be a link, I realize. And the reason why is that this is supposed to redirect you to somewhere else, so that would make far more sense to have a link here. Although you cannot see any difference here, but you do see that there the hashtag is being added the moment we click on it. So if I press this, I click on this button here. Alright, so we can see here what we need to do here, border. I'm not sure which border I have assigned here yet. Oh, sorry, here, this one, rounded. There's no border yet, and then you can say background, and then we say here background white. Let's put it 400. Let's see what happens. Okay, white 400 is not possible, of course. We can make this black 400. Alright, that doesn't work as well. Let's look here at the background colors, see what we're missing. BG black, BG white is the only one that doesn't have a different, so that's fine. Alright, so we save this, go back here, there you are. Now we should have here some padding. Let's make this padding 3 as well. There we are. We have this here. This is supposed to be maybe a paragraph. Or we could make this instead of a paragraph. Well, normally this should be a paragraph, and we could give this a block. The reason why is if you give it a block in CSS, it pushes it down. But if you have a paragraph, it will probably do the same thing because the paragraph will push it down. Although you can see here it slightly overrules itself. So we can say here, I'm sure that this will be displayed with a block. Let's save that. Alright, block. This should be then inline block. Why inline block? It will minimize the size of our item here. Fair enough. HR, if we save that, this, and then here probably this HR should have a class with some padding. Let's say padding white, top and bottom. Give it 3. Alright. Now we have that one here. That works fine. This is a sample of a certain card, but although it looks still absolutely hideous, we could give here maybe a background color. BG white as well. Well, white cannot be, but maybe gray 300. Save that. Alright, that does not work. Let's double check here. Why is gray not working? Of course, because they're using the British version of gray, not the American version. Save that. I'll go back here and refresh. Alright, so you can see here now, step by step, now we're starting to create a card. And we're really creating a card not with a fixed amount, but basically with all these classes together to create one desired result. And with this, of course, we can just copy this. And well, this doesn't look that nice, but this is a good start with. Refresh here, and eventually we can start to work on to make it nicer.